Now here we're going to take a look at Billy's offensive backhand as he approaches. And we'd like to see a couple of things. We're going to run this live at full speed because I want you to watch the rhythmic pattern of his swing. Let's watch it one more time. As he is pretty abrupt, it's pretty fast. Now his circle back is pretty good on this stroke. That's fine as long as it's not maximized, as long as, it's not too large. And we see him here. Let's go back in time again. From here, he start with the racket down low. And then from there, he'll bring it up. And that's something we like to avoid. And how are we going to avoid that is by starting actually the racket. We like to see him start with the racket here. His hands closer to his hips, almost like he's wearing a belt, right in his belt buckle. We like to see his hands with the racket, of course, facing up in a relaxed position. Now from there, we see here, he brings the racket up. We see how high this racket goes. And of course, we see it right here. Okay, pretty high. We like to see that racket face be closer to his head at the highest. So of course we want to minimize his swing a little bit. At the same time, this is a player that was taking the racket straight back, holding it, and then swinging from there, having two swings instead of really one. No rhythm on the swing, which is really limiting his power source. Now from here, good contact point, reaching out just a little bit. Okay, a little low, but at the same time he can get away with this. Okay, we like to see the ball a little bit higher. Moving forward from there. Good finish right there with the front foot pivot. A little bit wider on the finish, but still pretty good. We'll watch him recover. Let's watch the next one in slow motion. Watch how the racket, again, it dips down. See that racket? Look how low it gets. Racket dips down below the knee. Okay, and then from there, he'll go up pretty fast. Okay, now on this one, again, he still brings it up high. We see where it is. That has to be lower. From there, he'll step in, of course, into a square. Really pushes off the ground extremely well. He's a strong kid. Hits the ball. Solid contact point here. Probably his best contact point that we've seen so far. Right there. This is excellent. And then from there, he'll finish. And he'll finish wide into the front foot pivot, which we see right here. Okay? One of his best ones. Going forward again, next one. We'll see again the trend here, dipping the racket down low. Drops again below his knee as we see again. Brings the racket up, again over his head. From there, he really gets this base wide. Now I tell you, this is something very, very positive that we see. Look at that wide base, really allowing him to load here and here. And that's outstanding. And that, of course, is going to produce the ground force to really push off the ground to get the acceleration that we need. Contact point, as we see, is a little low. Extension on the back end is outstanding, as we see here. Let's use this line right here. Outstanding extension. And then he'll finish off, of course. Now, on this one, he's leaning back just a bit. We like to see him with the front foot pivot be closer to here, a little bit wider. That way, of course, he's leaning more forward into the shot. Overall, probably his best backhand between the neutral defense offense, the offense probably being his best backhand. Good job.